Welcome to my very first video blog. It's Sunday night, and as you can see, I'm in my t-shirt and shorts. I've been lazy all day today. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, and so as many of you know who are familiar with who I am, I'm a complete and total procrastinator. So I haven't done this because everything usually needs to be perfect before I do something. And as we know, that never happens. So I'm starting this today, and this is going to be, for now, hopefully a weekly thing. One of the things that I really want people to understand is that joy exists in the most improbable places. That's the website. That's the book that I'm writing. And going through chemo, it was really easy to find joy because I was solely focused on looking for joy. But what I've learned is that in normal everyday life, which I'm sure you can attest to, it's really difficult sometimes to find joy. And so I'm going to highlight for you moments throughout the week when I see joy because I'm looking. And one of those incidents happened to me recently. I was sitting home and I answered my front door, and it was my neighbor. And I live in a condo, so I'm on the board for the association, and this neighbor has an issue going on with her plumbing. So we've been working on that. So we stepped outside to chat. Long story short, she talked about maybe wanting to put up a Trump sign. Don't run away, okay? This is not going to be super political, okay? Hang in there with me, because in this political climate that we live in, it's sometimes really hard to find joy, right? When we see all this acrimony and this conflict, right, and this disagreement. So this is going to be good, I tell you. I swear it's going to be good. My neighbor and I, she wanted to put up a sign, and her kids dissuaded her and said, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. It might make some people upset. And I kind of went, I wouldn't like that sign. And she looked at me and she's like, oh, so you're not a Trump supporter? And I said, yeah, I'm not a Trump supporter. So I'm the wackadoo liberal. She's the Trump supporter. And, you know, you'd think that it would end there, but I'm going to make this short because I could ramble on and on, as many of you know. We had a really interesting conversation. I listened to her. She listened to me. We didn't agree. We didn't agree on much of anything. But this is a neighbor that I've known for several years. I adore her. I like her. We don't agree. And this was the moment of joy that I'm going to tell you about, because this is what reminded me that there's good in the world and love does exist. At the end of that conversation, we both just looked at each other and said, you know, I love you, right? And we were like, yeah, you know, I love you. That is joy, people. Joy exists if we look for it. We don't have to always agree. We can disagree. She's not a bad person because we have opposing political viewpoints. I just want us to go into this week remembering that, especially as we get closer to the election. And so the long-winded point for me is, I actually feel closer to her now. Even though we're not the same, I love that we can have that conversation. I love that we can have the conversation, but at the end, remind each other that we still love each other. And I'd never told her I loved her before until that conversation. So have a great week, and I look forward to chatting with all of you more and more and more. And I hope it wasn't too long-winded. See ya.